Climate change is a key defining development and the foremost emerging security challenge of our time. It acts as a multiplier of existing threats to international peace and security, and as African leaders specifically, and global leaders more generally, we can no longer ignore the serious security challenges associated with climate change. Africa endures the most of climate change, and this reality is hard to ignore. Many of our countries are experiencing extreme weather patterns, which manifest itself in form of more frequent and more intense droughts and floods. And as a consequence, our nations have witnessed more aggressive locust invasions with far-reaching consequences on communities, livelihoods, ecosystems, as well as to our infrastructure. These disruptive effects have significantly undermined the social economic development agenda of many countries on the continent. Indeed, ecological vulnerabilities lead to increased social and economic vulnerabilities, including famine, increased forced migration, and also competition for resources. This in turn precipitates inter-country and inter-county social tensions and conflicts. Additionally, population growth puts stress on natural resources such as water, food, arable lands, and energy, which further compounds the climate and security challenges that we face as a continent. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, examples abound on the consequence of inaction. They include a drought-stricken Horn of Africa with massive locust infestation, the drying up of Lake Chad Basin, the shrinking Sahel, and savanna grasslands. These and related situations have worsened social economic vulnerabilities and set in motion political, demographic, and migratory dynamics that increase the threat of insurgency and also violent extremism. The international community, including the African Union Peacebuilding Commission and the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, have provided us with new and innovative tools to prevent climate-related conflicts and to build resilience. I urge these bodies to take this effort further and link early warning systems that map climate change snapshots to decision-making tools that enable conflict prevention. Such tools should also include strategies to deploy climate-based solutions in a security-conscious, forward-looking manner. However, for such innovative work to have policy impact, it will require democratizing sharing of critical data with African scientists and researchers, as well as financing that reaches the countries worst hit by climate change. It will also require realigning conflict resolution, humanitarian aid, and post-conflict restructuring with job creation, especially for the youth of our continent. This meeting, I believe, therefore, gives member states an opportunity to implement previous decisions of our Assembly, especially the decision of the 14th extraordinary session, which is at the heart of sustainable peace. We must take decisive action to change the status quo and adopt sustainable resource management models to help restore balance in our ecosystems. We must act in concert to protect our shared destiny. Rather than wait for a future tipping point, we must redouble our efforts now to address and to direct the resources and the multilateral frameworks of our rule-based international order to mitigate the effects of climate change. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot we can do as individual countries to mitigate climate change. I may wish to just highlight a few examples of what Kenya has done in this regard. Kenya has developed a climate change action plan to scale up efforts to maintain a low carbon development trajectory between 2020 and 2030. The plan includes a commitment to increase tree coverage to at least 10% of our land area by 2030 and to restore degraded water towers. The plan also includes actions in the energy sector. Kenya is among the top 8 global leaders in geothermal power, for example, and home to the first and largest geothermal and wind power project in Africa. Currently, close to 90% of the electricity used by Kenyans is from renewable energy resources, and this already impressive percentage will be increased further by additional investments in geothermal as well as solar energy. In the transport sector, ongoing work includes the efforts to develop sustainable urban mobility through the introduction of bus rapid transit, integrated with non-motorized transport for the city of Nairobi, as well as the transfer of a significant part of our passengers and freight from road to rail. We have also taken several actions to promote the sustainable blue economy, and this includes the ban on the use of single-use plastics to reduce ocean pollution and maritime protection programs with a focus on the protection of mangroves. Let me, however, hasten to add that these baby steps relative to the enormity of the climate change challenge, we all need to do more, starting with ensuring that our post-COVID-19 recovery packages are based on sustainable green solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for the upcoming climate change conference, COP26, that shall happen later this year, we all need to unite our voice and shape the climate change response from a Pan-African perspective, which includes those in the Caribbean, where climate change is today an existential threat. The pervasive and devastating global impacts of climate change requires us to address it with a functioning rule-based international order driven by multilateralism. This will enable us to tackle emerging security threats and to champion an inclusive social economic agenda and achieve sustainable peace on our continent. Let me say that I was proud last year to serve under the leadership of our former chairman, the President of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, where as a member of the Bureau, we worked together for a Pan-African response to the pandemic and also a Pan-African response to vaccine development that saw Africa for the very first time respond to the issues of a serious and major pandemic almost in real time and only a few weeks behind the developed world. I believe that the same can be applied to climate change as well as other issues that affect and inflict our continent. The power of working together supersedes the power of working individually. I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, and I do hope that during this month we shall be able to work together to create African solutions to the problems that face and afflict our continent. Let me conclude by saying that Kenya commits to remaining a strong voice for Africa and the Global South, including small island developing states, in making a particular case for climate change and the security nexus, and this is one of our priorities during our tenure on the UN Security Council. Together we have the means and the ability to protect our planet from climate change-related destruction, but also by working together to secure peace and stability for all of us. I thank you all for your kind attention, and I now wish to welcome our Chairperson, the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Chairperson of the African Union to make his opening remarks.